Welcome back to the Thrifty Food Plan channel, friends. I am so glad you are here. We have a little bit of a special edition of a grocery haul and meal plan. Please do hit that like button and subscribe. Now let's get to it. Hello, it's Jay. I am not in my normal spot this week. I am actually in London, which is where the college phenom goes to university. And I'm here really because we're having some issues and we need a little bit of all hands on deck for the next month or so. The co parent, my parents, the co parents' parents, the co parents' new partner, like everybody is pitching in to sort of make this possible. And we do need to be here on the ground, on and off, probably for the next month. And the place that I am staying this week, I rented a room with a kitchen near the university where the college phenom goes to school. So that's where I'll be staying this week. And just wanted to, two things. Like, first, grocery shopping in London is a little different. I don't have a car. A lot of people don't have cars in London, so I need to walk to the grocery store and be able to carry my groceries back. And really, in London, there are two kinds of groceries. They're like these mini marts, and then they're fuller size grocery stores. And the closest fuller size grocery store to me is a store called Waitrose, I think is how you pronounce it. Any London folks watching, tell me how to pronounce it. It is not the cheapest grocery store known to man. It's not a discount grocery store, but it is the closest full-size grocery store to where I am in this flat. It's about a half a mile away. So half a mile walk there, get the groceries, half a mile walk back. When I come back later, I'll probably come back later in the month of March sometime, probably. At that point, maybe they do have Aldi here, and I've never been to an Aldi. So it may be next time I come, I will figure out how to get on the tube, get on the train, and go someplace with an Aldi. But I don't have time to figure that out this week. So I am going to be shopping at a Waitrose, which again is not the cheapest grocery store known to man, but also not the most expensive grocery stores in London. It is, though, the closest full service grocery to me. The other thing to know about London and probably all of Great Britain is that the sizes of everything here are much smaller because the government has stronger regulations to try to prevent obesity. So they package all of their food in smaller units, except for things like fruits and vegetables. So that may look a little different. Like a can of beans is, I forget, in the US, it's like 15 ounces. They're a little smaller here in the UK. And of course, you've got the kilogram to pound thing, like all of that. So I did also just want to say, like, I'm a little worried that all of you may start thinking that I have tons of disposable income and live this fabulous travel life because, last month I was in a tiny house. I was in a tiny house for work, though, last month, that wasn't really a vacation. It was like I was working up there. Anyway, I'm just feeling really sensitive that you all might think I have a bunch of disposable income, and I don't. I don't have a bunch of disposable income, and being able to come here, is really dependent on everyone in my extended family pooling resources so that the co-parent and I can both be here for the college phenom over about the next month. I do typically have money in my budget for one trip to London, usually to drop her off at college or pick her up at college. And, the other travel I do a trip to Moab every summer, which I've done a video on before. And then, the only other thing that I budget is I have a group of women that I have known for 25 years, and we get together once a year. So maybe that is a lot of travel, but I just wanted to say to all of you that this is not planned. This is an all hands on deck moment. And I'm going to figure out how to make it work financially with the help of my extended family. But anyway, as you know, the very first thing I will do before I even think about going to a grocery store is I will look at what I already have in my fridge, freezer, and pantry, which is going to be limited because I'm in a rental room in London. So let's check it out. All right, so the college phenom did pick up a little welcome basket for me. I got here late in the afternoon, and she did take me out to dinner because she's a sweetheart. And then she had these little welcome items for me. So she picked me up some oats and some sugar free soy milk and some almonds and some apples. So clearly she knows me. In the room I'm renting, there was a collection of like spices and vinegars and oils kind of already in the room, and that includes salt, curry, and cinnamon. And as you know, I like to have cinnamon on my oats in the morning, so that was really helpful. So as I'm building out my meal plan, to the extent that I have a robust meal plan, I am going to take into account sort of the spices that already are here and vinegars and oils and all of that. I am back from my hike, about a half a mile each way to the grocery. Let's see what I got. In veg, I've got 2 onions and 3 sweet potatoes, a tri-pack of peppers. Um, just like in the US, they do have markdowns. So I got the 2 bags of mixed salad that they had marked down. And it was weird, like, didn't really have like whole green things, so you had to buy them in the bags. Not sure what that's about. Picked up like a mix with Rocket is arugula, kind of a mix of arugula, watercress, and spinach. 1 more bag of the mixed salad, and then a full bag of Rocket, which is arugula again, and then some green onions, which look way more grainy or thick than the ones in the US. Transitioning to fruit, I got 1 can of chopped tomatoes. These little bag of clementines was $1. This bag of less than perfect apples also $1. So that's kind of veg and fruit. In grains, I picked up some rice and some flatbread. In dairy, I picked up some of this faux butter and then a can of coconut milk. Don't forget, my daughter, as a welcome gift, got me a little thing of soy milk, unsweetened soy, because she knows me so well. She also got me some what they call porridge here, but that's like oats. And she also got me some nuts, just FYI. And then in protein, what I picked up to see if I could eat through the week with it, a can of vegetarian baked beans. You see these everywhere in London, like beans and toast. And then 4 cans of cannelli beans. Those are like white kidney beans. And then lentils. In the miscellaneous category, the room I'm renting didn't have any peppers, so I picked that up. I picked up some Dijon mustard. I picked up 1 thing of sparkling water and coffee. The room that I rented doesn't have like a coffee maker of any sort, so that's why I got the instant, but I'm gonna have my coffee. And then, as always, a bar of chocolate. And then in household, there weren't any like Tupperware or baggies in the room that I'm renting. So I picked up these resealable bags. And let me just tell y'all, those suckers were like 3.55 pounds, which is like $5. So expensive. I appreciate that England is trying to keep us from using plastic, but wowzer, that was expensive. So this is everything I picked up in my little London grocery haul. All right, so when we talk about the budgetary damage, we do need to talk about what the budget was. When I was putting together my grocery budget for December, not for December, for February 2023, the most recently available USDA Thrifty Plan was from December 2022. And when I did all the math and all of those things, what that USDA Thrifty Food Plan said was that the maximum I'm allowed to spend on food each week is $62.16. The amount of US dollars that I spent on the grocery haul you just saw was $40.18. And I've already done some conversion clearly from pounds, British pounds, to US dollars. So if I remove the baggies, which in US dollars were $4.19 because that is not food, and I remove the tax, which averaged out to about 8%, that means that I spent $32.97 for food this week in London, which does mean I came in under budget by $29.19. Woohoo! So let's talk about nutrition. You know, this is my other favorite thing about the Thrifty Food Plan. It's not just about budget, it's also about nutrition. And the USDA does provide us some basic guidance about how many of our dollars we should spend in each nutritional category. Now, I just did a video, which I'll link above, that talks about some of the imperfections and the way the USDA approaches it, but I will continue to use this as a guide, not as a rule. So, when I look at all the dollars I spent an outsized amount on vegetables, over 36%. I spent about 7% of my dollars on fruits. You know, really, those apples were 1 pound, which is like $1.27, I think. Mandarins, also $1. They were on sale. Grains, I spent 11.5%. Proteins, I spent 11.85%. And I'm mostly a whole food plant-based vegan. So in almost all cases, I will come in well under budget on protein because I'm not buying meat. Dairy, I bought coconut milk and that plant butter. The plant butter maybe should go in the miscellaneous category because it doesn't actually include any dairy. But anyway, dairy at 7.43%. And then miscellaneous did spend an outsized amount here, 25.83%, but that includes the sparkling water, the chocolate, the coffee. I picked up some mustard to make salad dressings and some peppercorns because there was no pepper in the flat and I need pepper for my food. The meal plan this week, I'm going to have oats with apples every morning. I'm going to have coffee every morning because I love my coffee. Snacks this week are going to be a little thin. I'm mostly going to have fruit and, you know, I might like snack on some other things that I pick up here and there. But really, fruit is going to be my primary snack this week. Lunches, I'm going to have big salads along with any dinner leftovers. And as you saw, I did pick up a bar of chocolate. So I will have my piece of dark chocolate every single day. And really, this week, I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm making a really big batch of a lentil and sweet potato curry, which I can have with rice and or flatbread across the week. Usually, I like to mix my dinners up, but because I'm leaving at the end of this week, I don't want to have any leftovers. I want to eat through everything I make. So I'm going to make a big batch of lentil and sweet potato curry and eat through that for the whole week that I am here. And just to let y'all know, this is a really simple recipe. 2 cups of dried lentils, 1 onion chopped, 2 sweet potatoes peeled and chopped. Depending on how spicy or flavorful you like your curries, 2 to 3 tablespoons of curry powder, 1 can of chopped tomatoes with the juice. You add water, about 5 cups, and then a can of coconut milk. So really the way you do this is you're going to chop up the onions, chop up the sweet potatoes, put them in a big pot with a little oil or a little water and kind of get them a little, you know, get the onions a little soft. Then add your curry powder in and sort of let it heat up for a minute or two just to get until you can really smell it and it's really flavorful. And at that point, sort of add in your lentils, your chopped tomatoes, your water, give it a big old stir, let it stew on the stove until sort of the lentils reach the consistency that you like. I like mine a little harder. I don't like them super mushy, but everybody has a preference around that. And then sort of a couple minutes before you want to serve it up, maybe 5, 7 minutes before you want to serve it up, add the can of coconut milk and just blend it in, and that'll give it a really nice flavor. And you can serve it over rice, or you can serve it by itself and then have flatbread on the side. So this is my meal plan for this week in London. So this is everything that I got at the grocery store. And, we will see if I have to make another trip over to the grocery or to a mini mart if I ended up forgetting things that I might need or want. And I would just appreciate any feedback you all have. This is more expensive than what I typically buy in the States, and it is what it is. I wasn't exactly sure how to shop any cheaper and get the things that I felt like I needed for the week. But if you were going to add things or subtract things from what I bought this week, kind of looking back on it, the one thing maybe I didn't need to buy was that plant-based butter. Because I tried some of the flatbread last night, and the flatbread didn't need any seasoning on it. It was perfectly good without it. So that's one thing maybe I could have not bought. But anyway, would appreciate all of your pushes and feedback about what you see in this grocery haul and meal plan. And as always, I just thank you so much for coming. Please do hit that like button, subscribe, leave your comments below, and do come back on next Thursday, when we'll have another grocery haul and meal plan.